congratulations to Cheska.
Yes.
We're so happy to see her healthy, right? She just finished her
Thank you.
Graduate na.
Yes, graduate na siya. Oo, tapos
Thank
na.
you, thank you. I hope I never have to do that ever
Wala
again.
na yun. Tapos na yun.
I'm done.
No. Well, thank you once again. Thank you also, Russell, for being on their show. Great show, as always, to Saz, to Sean, and to Pauline, the ladies of the Big Story Primetime Newscast here on One News. From the newscast, let's go to the sports news. As on our show, we got the Los Angeles Lakers landing DeAndre Aan plus Morat set to visit the Philippines next month.
And it's off to the VTV Cup semis for Gilas Filipinas women as they score a sweep over Thailand's Escola.
Big win. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Calao.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Puts it on. Unbelievable. On the left side. Oh, the pass! Stopping another one. Bakunas rejecting Estevo for the
Well, purple and gold, LA fans, well, the Lakers, you got your new big man. Finally, the Lakers make a splash in free agency and land 2018 #1 overall pick, big man DeAndre Aan. NBA insider Shams Charania reports that Aan will sign a 2-year deal, which includes a player option. The Portland Trail Blazers bought out Aan's contract last week, ending his 2-year stay in Rip City. He's reportedly set to earn $34 million next season. By joining the Lake Show, Aan will team up with the #3 pick in his draft class, Luka Doncic. Dominatin is coming off arguably the poorest season of his career, averaging a personal low of 14.4 points in just 40 games played. Now, despite this, Aan is the first player to average at least 10 points and 10 rebounds in each of his first 7 seasons since Dwight Howard, who's also, ironically, a former Laker. Aan is expected to fill the Lakers' glaring hole down low, providing size in the middle and a lob target for Doncic and LeBron James.
Dante, Exum, and Spencer Dinwiddie also scored deals of their own. Exum has agreed to stay with the Dallas Mavericks on a fresh 1-year contract. He is expected to share ball handling duties with D'Angelo Russell, whom the Mavs acquired 2 days ago. In his 2 seasons so far with Dallas, the Australian playmaker averaged 8 points and almost 3 assists a game. As for Dinwiddie, he chose to sign with the Charlotte Hornets, also on a 1-year deal. The 32-year-old guard is also coming off a year with the Mavs putting up respectable averages of 11 markers, at least 4 dimes, and close to 3 rebounds per contest.
Meantime, well, it looks like the New York Knicks have found their new head coach. The Knicks are reportedly finalizing a contract with veteran mentor Mike Brown. New York is looking to replace Tom Thibodeau, who had been calling the shots for the team since 2020, but was fired last month. Brown has been an NBA head coach since 2005, most notably for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He last coached the Sacramento Kings, though they fired him too after a rough start to the previous season. Brown is a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, winning in 2009 with the Cleveland Cavs and with 2020 and in 2023 with the Sacramento Kings. Now, should he join the Knicks, he takes over a team that just played in its first Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years.
San Antonio Spurs rookie Carter Bryant gets a special treat ahead of his Summer League debut in Las Vegas. During a press conference, Bryant spoke about meeting some of the team's legends, including Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili. The Spurs picked Bryant 14th overall in this year's draft. Besides sharing what it was like to meet some of his childhood heroes, Bryant also spoke about his mindset and what he brings to the team.
Yeah, I think one thing I just want to bring is the physicality to the defensive side of the ball, being able to guard multiple positions, know guys' tendencies, being able to keep them in front of me, guard multiple actions and make multiple efforts, I think is a big thing for me because, like, everybody wants to score the ball, but, like, how do I separate myself? How do I get those early minutes? How do I find myself on the floor? So I think defense in terms of that is just something I could do to get on the floor. For me, it's just learning everything. I think for myself, I try not to compare myself to anybody else. Like, it don't matter if it's, I couldn't care if it was Kobe or Mike on the other side of it. Like, I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to rock. So there's nothing different in terms of mentality standpoint for me.
Does it feel like
Everything happened so fast. I think the thing that really put me in a whirlwind is when I walked into a breakfast, Manu was there. And then I saw Timmy D and I saw Coach Popovich. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's my whole childhood just standing right in front of me. Like these dudes know my name, like they're greeting me, telling me I'm a hell of a player and all these things. It's like this is crazy. Like this is my childhood right in front of me. So yeah.
Well, speaking of meeting your childhood NBA idols, young Filipino basketball players are getting the chance to get up close and personal with All-Star Morat. The Memphis Grizzlies star is heading to Manila on August 2 for the last stop of his Make Them Watch tour. Morat's visit will include a workout with local high school players as well as an exhibition game. Before Manila, the tour will also make stops in Georgia and New York in the U.S., then China and Japan.
In other basketball news, Gilas Filipinas women get back on track after beating Thailand for their first win in the 2025 Williams-Jones Cup. Gilas women took out the Thais 83-66, bouncing back from a 26-point loss to Chinese Taipei yesterday. The Pinays created separation in the third quarter when they outscored Thailand 26-12. Jack Andimam was a dominant force down low, putting up 23 points and 14 rebounds. Vanessa De Jesus also finished with 23 markers. Up next on the schedule is South Korea tomorrow. All this is part of Gilas women's build-up for the FIBA Womens Asia Cup in Shenzhen, China, beginning July 13. And it comes just as FIBA announced that the 2027 edition of the Women's Asia Cup will take place in the Philippines. In a statement, FIBA Executive Director Asia Hagop Kajirian said hosting the tournament in a country where basketball has a passionate following will help efforts to promote women's hoops. The last continental level tournament held in the country was the FIBA Asia Championship way back in 2013. Coming up, we've got stories on 2 more national women's teams. Find out the latest on the Philippine women's national football team and Las Filipinas women when play-by-play returns. We'll be right back.
we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play live on One News. It may have been a short-lived first run, but playing in Wimbledon was certainly a dream come true for Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala. Alex wrote about her debut on social media saying, quote, "That match was special in more ways than one. To be able to fulfill a childhood dream and be part of something bigger than myself, history for my country." End of quote. Ayala made her mark on center court by pushing defending women's singles champion Barbara Krejcikova to the limit in their first round match. Ayala won the opening set but ultimately bowed to her Czech opponent 3-6, 6-2, and 6-1. Ayala says it was an honor to share the court with Krejcikova. The Filipino tennis star is now playing in the Wimbledon women's doubles. She and her partner, Germany's Eva Lise, are facing Ingrid Martens and Quinn Gleason in the first round.
Meantime, the Philippine women's national football team is now one step closer to booking a spot in the 2026 AFC Women's Asian Cup. The Filipinas dominated host Cambodia 6-0 to stay unbeaten in Group G. Alexa Pino and Meryl Serrano got things going with back-to-back goals in the 18th and 19th minutes. Serrano then found the back of the net again in the 36th before Cambodia conceded an own goal to give the Philippines a 4-0 halftime lead. Haley Long and Chandler McDaniel then put on the finishing touches in the second half. The Philippines is now in first place in their group. They only need a draw against Hong Kong on Sunday to secure a spot in next year's Asia Cup in Australia.
Well, as for Gilas Filipinas women, they've made it to the semifinals of the 2025 VTV Cup. The national women's volleyball team booked their spot in the Final Four after sweeping Thailand's EST Kola in the quarterfinals, 25-17, 25-21, and 25-21. Brooke Van Sickle and MJ Phillips set the tone early for Gilas women, leading the attack in the opening frame. As the young Thais tried to rally in the next two sets, Gilas leaned on Vanny Gandler, Ea Laure, and Leila Cruz to seal the deal. Gilas is now on a 3-game win streak. The team will try to extend their run against defending champion Horabelka in the semis tomorrow. This marks the country's second semis appearance in the tournament's history after the Chocomucho Flying Titans' bronze medal finish back in 2023.
In the PVL, two former longtime teammates relish a night of firsts as they go head-to-head in the preseason. Erin Pangilinan and Sheena Turing had been teammates for nearly a decade, sharing a locker room in high school and eventually winning 3 UAAP titles with National University in college. But on Tuesday, they stood on opposite sides for the first time. Pangilinan now suiting up for Signal after being selected 6th overall in the PVL draft. She contributed 3 points in the HD Spikers' straight sets win over Creamline. On the other side of the court, Turing, who was selected 12th overall, entered the game off the bench for the Cool Smashers and made her presence known with 4 points. Here's what the two former Lady Bulldogs had to say about their first matchup in the Pro League.
Diba parang last time nagsama-sama kami mga bracket, magkaka-bracket. So parang, I think wala lang, onting joke na puksaan lang, na be, tayo na next, alam mo na, ganyan. Pero kidding aside, parang ano lang, normal lang. Wala namang bad na ano sa amin na kami magkalaban, walang pansinan, wala namang ganun. Normal lang lahat. Parang para sa amin, part of growth na may ganong bagay kaming pinagdadaanan.
Medyo nanibago at the same time. Yung ano yung nilalaro ni Eric, kung sa NU, parang gano'n yung nilaro niya sa Signal. Ano yung paging competitive. Pati si Ate Pearl din, grabe yung depensa niya kanina. Kaya na-challenge mo talaga.
Moving on to the PBA now, the TNT Tropang 5G looking to overcome more hits to their already depleted lineup as they move on the verge of the Philippine Cup Finals. TNT has taken a commanding 3-1 lead over the rain or shine Lasso Painters in the semifinals after winning Game 4 last night, 108-92. Brandon Ganuela's roster was named Best Player of the Game after posting 22 points and 11 rebounds. But it was a bittersweet victory as both Kelly Williams and Calvin Oftana suffered ankle sprains. Earlier in the series, TNT already lost R.R. Pugoy to an injured hamstring. Here's TNT head coach Chot Reyes on the possibility of playing without Pugoy, Oftana, and Williams.
I'm only concerned if we have enough men, because we're just falling like flies. We lost Kelly today, Calvin as well. But just as it's been since day one, not only this conference, but the entire season, it's just whoever we have, next man up. So for me, going into the next game, that's my only concern, is who do we have? And how can I make best use out of whoever it is that we have left? They're playing with a lot of urgency. Credit to Coach Eng. They're making great adjustments, and he's getting his guys to play really hard. So we just have to match that. We have to, in fact, we have to overcome that. They're going to come out with their hardest effort yet in this series on Game 5. So we have to be ready.
Well, TNT can close things out against rain or shine tomorrow as the PBA Philippine Cup semis resume at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. The Tropang 5G and the Elasto Painters will meet in Game 5 of their series at 5 in the afternoon. Again, TNT has a huge 3-1 lead in this best-of-7 tilt. Then at 7:30 p.m., it's Game 5 between the San Miguel Beermen and their sister team Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. This series is currently tied at 2 games apiece after San Miguel beat Ginebra yesterday. You can watch tomorrow's games live on PBA Rush, RPTV, and the Filipinas Live app. Coming up, Adobo with a side of pride. Freshly drafted Spurs star Dylan Harper shares his love for a classic Filipino dish, but only when it's made by a special someone. We'll tell you who that is when Play-by-Play returns, only here on One News. Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. Team Nemesis is gearing up to rep the Philippines in Dota 2's biggest tournament, the International. Ahead of TI-14 in September, mobile journalist Amy Atienza gives us a look at the team's preparations in this report.
Pinoy Dota 2 fans, are you ready to cheer your heart out? Because the Filipino team is set to take over the world stage in the International. The road to the International is not easy. You have to go through several top teams with plenty of experience and a long list of accomplishments. But against all odds, that's exactly what Team Nemesis pulled off to get to TI-14. The All-Pinoy squad took down Talon Esports last month to gain the spot as Southeast Asia's representative in Dota 2's most prestigious tournament. Team carry Eljan Akashi Angeles says the win felt more special as a former player of Talon.
Well, sobrang saya of course kasi yung last team mo, tinalo mo, and good thing is sa part ko is nag-qualified kami, sila hindi. So parang sa part ko, deep inside masaya ako.
Simula nung first career ko sa Dota 2019, parang 6 years ko na pinapangarap talaga yung TI, kaya nung nanalo kami sobrang saya ko talaga.
The team was formed only weeks before the TI qualifiers, but the challenge made them gel and get better together faster.
Naging ano lang ako talaga, yung growth ko is naging confident ako sa sarili ko. Kasi dati, sobrang takot ako mag-make ng move eh. Nung pumasok sa Nemesis, parang wala lang. Gusto ko lang maglaro, ayan, 100% na confidence. Kaya ganun yung laruan ko.
Yung mga past teams ko kasi ako yung parang naglilid eh. Kasi karamihan ng naging past teams ko is mga young players yung kasama ko. Tapos ngayon dito parang feel ko yung yung apat na kampi ko yung ako naman yung tinuturuan.
Team Nemesis still has a long journey ahead before TI-14. But amid their preparations for the biggest tournament of their lives, offlaner Polo Raven Fausto says the team need to take it one step at a time.
Pero ang pinaka-goal ko talaga as in ngayon is main stage muna, playoffs. Gusto ko makapaglaro sa main stage mismo. Tapos kasi kapag nakapaglaro ka sa main stage, doon ka mag-improve at mag-improve eh. So playoffs muna ako.
TI-14 will take place from September 11 to 14 at Barclays Arena in Hamburg, Germany. Team Nemesis will come in as the first Southeast Asians to qualify for the tournament this year. And they're asking for support from their kababayans as they try to make a deep run.
Ng Team Nemesis, hinay-hinay lang sa mga haters at sana sabotahan nyo kami.
Tama. Tapos ako naman, sa mga supporters sa mga Tagalog at Bisaya, mag-unite muna tayo. para sa kababayan natin, para sa country natin, tol. Wag muna tayo away. Suportahan natin ang Team Nemesis.
A lot of people doubted. Some even said they will never make it to the international. But Team Nemesis is slowly but surely proving that they can hang with the world's best. Mobile journalist Amy Atienza, we are One News.
So in the PBA Philippine Cup semifinals last night, we had the highlights from Barangay Ginebra and San Miguel, which SMB won that game, now overtaking the Gin Kings. Now, TNT versus ROS still last night, but here are some highlights. Let's go with ROS first. Keith Datu, Auto Santi Santillan, Gabe Norwood, they swing the ball. Nokum, shaking. Boy, Aram's sweet drive, slicing the teeth of the defense. Take a look at Nokum. This kid really has something bright ahead of him. Special kid. Look at those moves. The quickness, the first step, and then the move underneath. Woo! Nokum, 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, plus 5 steals. He was just all over the floor here, both offensive and defensive. Bright future in the PBA for the former Mapua Cardinal. Okay, on to the next one. Off a basket made by TNT, Santillan, ahead to Karakut. Karakut goes to Clarito, gets fouled, up and in for Air Jonard. Jonard Clarito sees the defense, bump, help there by Aram, no problem, gets a foul on Glenn Cabuntin, and one for Clarito, who had just 4 points in this one, 7 rebounds. Okay, now let's go to TNT side. Heading, asking for a screen from BGR, almost losing a handle on the ball, gives up his dribble, back, and back to him. Ooh, cross to you, back, step back, crossover, step back for 4 from Jordan Heading. Take a look again against Yongsun, great defense. Oop, 1, 2, step back, 4 down the drain for Jordan heading. Man, the shooting stroke of this guy, just unbelievable. Take a look. Kids, if you want to learn how to shoot, take a look at Jordan Heading's shooting form. Heading, by the way, 23 points to lead TNT along with 5 boards, 6 assists, a steal, and a block to boot. Roll the next clip. Clarito ahead to Karakut. Under 6 to play in the third. Karakut sizing up. Cross you over. Up! He thought he had Aurin beat, but there is boy Aram, the anchor on the defensive end, the former Ateneo Blue Eagle, swiping that, doing what he does best, sending it away like a volleyball spike. Woo! That's one of Aram's 2 big blocks in a game. By the way, he also had 8 points, 5 rebounds coming off the bench for the TNT Tropang 5G. Lastly, for TNT, Heading. Oh no, it's BGR, hand off to Heading. Fires the 3, no. Tap for the loose ball, saved by Clarito to the wrong man, and ends up with BGR. Says, ooh, wide open, let me dunk that for sure. Two-handed flush, take a look again. Miss laps there on the offensive end. Clarito tried to save it to Datu, but it ended up with BGR. There you go, and then easy peasy, late on the recovery is Keith Datu on the defense. BGR, by the way, big double-double, this one, 22 points, 11 rebounds as TNT beats ROS, 108-92 is the final score. Tropang 5G now take a commanding 3-1 lead in their best of 7 series, and they can close it out in Game 5 tomorrow at the Big Dome, the Smart Arena at the Coliseum. Check. Welcome back.
And before we go, here's a sweet touch of home for newly drafted San Antonio Spurs guard Dylan Harper. The second overall pick in this year's NBA draft is definitely proud of his Filipino roots, and his taste buds prove it. In a video posted by the Spurs, Harper shared that his favorite Filipino food is none other than chicken adobo. But there's a catch. Dylan only likes chicken adobo when his grandmother cooks it. Harper's maternal grandmother, Lilia, who hails from Bataan, was at the Barclays Center to celebrate Dylan's special moment on draft night. Dylan is the son of 5-time NBA champion Ron Harper and Filipina Maria Pizarro. He is set to make his Summer League debut soon with the Spurs, and you can bet Filipinos will be watching.
Chicken adobo. Chicken adobo. I think the sauce is different. It's like you can't really replicate it. I only eat my grandma's one, but yeah, definitely that.
Chicken adobo.
Lola's cooking.
Chicken adobo. Ikaw, anong favorite mo? Adobo ba or?
Sinigang.
Sinigang. Sige. Dahil congratulations and welcome back. Graduate na. Dapat may sinigang ka. Sinigang na baboy, ano bang favorite
Hindi pa
mo?
bumabalik yung taste buds ko.
Hindi pa. Pero sige.
Give
may
me 1
utang
month.
tayong sinigang kay Ches Caliton Calao now that she is back. And hopefully, back here to stay for good. Diba? Tuloy-tuloy na yan.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me forever.
That's all. Nanonood si Denise Ken. Denise, nakinig mo yan, ha? That's all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News. That's Signal TV, Channel 8 on SD, and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Filipinas Live.
Great to have her back here on my left. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Ches Caliton Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night.